Welcome back, Heartland fans. Amy stood by the old oak, the setting sun painting the sky in fiery hues. In her hand, she clutched a weathered journal, its pages filled with familiar handwriting she hadn't seen in years. As she opened it, a tremor ran through her. The date on the first entry made her heart ache. Caleb, the man she once thought was her forever, he was writing to her, detailing his journey. What had truly happened to him after he left Heartland? Why now, after all this time? And most of all, could she ever truly understand, let alone forgive him? Caleb Odell, with his fiery spirit and unwavering loyalty, was once a cornerstone of Heartland. His fierce love for Amy, though complicated, was the kind that resonated with viewers, a testament to enduring bonds. But everything changed when Caleb vanished without a real trace. It wasn't just a character disappearing, it was a void that the show never quite filled. Fans were left reeling. One moment Caleb was there, riding alongside Amy, joking with Ty, a vibrant part of their lives, and the next, he was gone. Not just physically, but completely written out with a vague explanation that felt deeply unsatisfying. His exit didn't feel like a proper goodbye, it felt unfinished, a narrative thread left dangling. The official reason for Caleb's departure was said to be a sudden, unannounced rodeo tour that took him far away. But for many viewers, the abruptness of his absence felt unsettling. There were no emotional farewells, no heartfelt promises to return, just a sudden silence and then a significant time jump. It left a palpable emptiness in both the story and Amy's world. And that's where the questions truly began. Across online forums and fan communities, theories started to surface. What if Caleb didn't just leave for a rodeo? What if he was forced to go into hiding to protect Amy and Lindy, or even himself? Some fans pointed out how quickly and conveniently the explanation was offered. Others noticed subtle hints in later seasons, certain glances or snippets of dialogue, suggesting that Amy still felt Caleb's presence, that perhaps she knew more than she let on. It wasn't just viewers clinging to hope. The way Amy handled her quiet sorrow seemed too contained, almost as if she was waiting for something. Heartland never gave us a proper mournful goodbye scene for Caleb either, just the quiet ranch moving forward, trying to fill the silence. And while this might have been a creative decision, many believed it was intentional, designed to keep the possibility of his return alive. Now in season 19, the tides are shifting. The new trailer offers tantalizing glimpses that Amy's past is resurfacing, and a part of that past is undoubtedly Caleb. Could this be the moment fans have been anticipating for so long? One significant rumor generating buzz online is about a weathered journal Amy discovers in episode 1. Insiders claim that the journal doesn't just mention Caleb, it reads as if it was written by him, addressed directly to Amy. Some even believe Caleb is alive, and this season will finally unravel the truth behind his mysterious disappearance. Was he coerced into leaving? Was there a hidden threat they never knew about? Did someone orchestrate his vanishing act? All of this places Amy squarely at the center once more. Her quiet demeanor regarding Caleb's absence could signify more than just grief. It could mean she knew, or at least suspected, that Caleb wasn't truly gone, that there was more to his story. The ranch may seem peaceful, but her heart might be far from it. If Caleb is alive, why didn't he return sooner? What could compel a man to abandon his family for such an extended period? And most importantly, how would Amy truly react if Caleb suddenly stood before her again? Would she break down in tears of relief or resentment? Would she find it in her heart to forgive, or would she shut him out entirely? Heartland Season 19 is shaping up to be a season of revelations, but also perhaps more profound questions. The possibility of Caleb's return, whether in person or through the echoes of his past, has already reignited the passion fans once felt, and if the show genuinely brings him back into Amy's life, it could be one of the most emotionally charged twists Heartland has ever delivered. Amy was never one to openly display her deepest pain. She carried it like a quiet burden, strong on the outside, but internally chipping away piece by piece. After Caleb's unexplained departure, she didn't scream or lash out. She simply kept moving forward, tending to the horses, raising Lindy, forcing a smile when others were watching. But anyone truly observant could see it. Amy wasn't truly healing. She was merely enduring. In the seasons following Caleb's exit, Amy's sorrow wasn't loud or dramatic. It was deeply buried, but buried pain rarely truly disappears. It festers. And as the days turned into years, fans began to discern something subtle in Amy's behavior. She wasn't angry, nor was she entirely hopeless. She seemed to be in a perpetual state of waiting, as if she hadn't fully accepted Caleb's absence, as if a part of her still harbored a faint belief that he might one day return. This emotional quietude is beginning to fray. The trailer shows Amy in moments of raw vulnerability, a sight viewers haven't witnessed in a long time, gazing out at the familiar fields with tears welling in her eyes, clutching something precious to her chest. Her voice trembles as she utters, "I think it's time I let go." But what does truly letting go entail? Is she finally accepting Caleb's permanent absence? Or is she contemplating forgiveness for his unexplained departure? The notion of forgiveness is what's truly captivating fans, because it's no longer solely about mourning, it's about confronting a complex truth. If Caleb chose to leave on his own, for reasons unknown or to protect his family, then Amy's heartbreak isn't just about profound loss, it's about a profound sense of abandonment. And yet, in the new season, she's depicted softening, even offering genuine smiles in moments where viewers might expect bitterness. Could this signify the beginning of a profound internal transformation? Some leaked information from the set hints at an intensely emotional flashback scene, where Amy is seen rereading old entries from Caleb's journal. One particular entry, never before revealed, may contain a heartfelt apology, a true one. "I never wanted to leave. I had no choice." That single sentence could be the catalyst for her journey back to inner peace, not just for her own sake, but for her daughter Lindy, who deserves to understand her father beyond mere photographs and whispered tales. Forgiveness is a difficult path, especially for someone like Amy who gave Caleb so much of herself, her trust, her dreams, her unwavering support. But sometimes, forgiveness isn't solely about the other person, it's about liberating oneself. And perhaps, just perhaps, Amy is finally prepared to release that immense emotional burden. This pivotal emotional arc could redefine Amy's character entirely. For years she has been the steadfast one, the gifted horse whisperer, the emotional anchor of Heartland. But now we might witness her in a new light, someone vulnerable, someone actively healing, someone brave enough to embrace deep emotion once more. And in doing so, Heartland may deliver one of its most honest and resonant storylines to date. As the season unfolds, all eyes are fixed on Amy. Will she truly relinquish the grip of the past, or will she unearth a truth that fundamentally alters everything she thought she knew? One thing is undeniably certain, this season isn't simply about moving on, it's about confronting and making peace with the emotional turmoil within. It wasn't just a journal, it was a silent testament, hidden away in a forgotten corner of the tack room, a place only Amy would meticulously clean. She wasn't seeking answers that morning, just a bridle that had been misplaced. But what she stumbled upon instead turned her world completely upside down. The handwriting was unmistakable, strong, distinctive, undeniably Caleb's. It had been years since she'd seen it, and now it stared back at her from the worn pages. The full contents of the journal haven't been officially disclosed, but fans and insider rumors overwhelmingly point in the same direction. This message is from Caleb, and it doesn't just reminisce about the past, it elucidates it. It doesn't just bid farewell, it offers profound apologies. It warns, and most crucially, it opens the door to a hidden truth no one was truly prepared for. Imagine opening a journal from the man you deeply loved, the man you thought had simply walked away, and reading words like, "I had to vanish to keep you safe. Please don't hate me." That's the kind of profound emotional maelstrom Amy now confronts. Not just the enduring ache of loss, but also feelings of betrayal, deep confusion, and something even more unsettling, the pervasive sense that everything she believed about his departure was a lie. What if Caleb never truly desired to leave? What if something or someone compelled him? There are persistent whispers within the Heartland fandom that Caleb became entangled in something incredibly perilous, something even Jack wasn't privy to: undercover work for the police, witness protection, a dangerous criminal element he inadvertently crossed paths with. Far-fetched perhaps, but this is Heartland, where even the most tranquil pastures can conceal tumultuous stories beneath the surface. This journal could be the catalyst for a mystery that completely reshapes Season 19. Perhaps the show is subtly building towards a revelation that Caleb's abrupt exit wasn't a voluntary departure, it was a desperate escape. And if that proves to be the case, then Amy forgiving him isn't the conclusion of the story, it's the thrilling commencement of a new one. Some fans theorize that the journal was intended to be discovered years ago, but was somehow intercepted, perhaps by someone who wished to keep Caleb's whereabouts a secret. Others suggest the journal wasn't even primarily for Amy, but for Lindy, and it simply got lost in the shuffle of time. Either way, its unexpected discovery now alters everything. In the trailer, we catch a glimpse of Amy sitting alone holding the journal. She doesn't openly weep, she doesn't smile, she simply clutches it close, as if it's a fragile piece of Caleb she's terrified of losing all over again. That silent, poignant moment conveys more than any words ever could, because when someone you love vanishes without explanation, and then reaches out after years of profound silence, the pain doesn't simply dissipate, it intensifies, morphing into a complex tapestry of emotions. But this journal also offers something Heartland fans haven't experienced since Caleb's exit: hope. Hope that his story isn't definitively over. Hope that he's not merely a cherished memory, but a man still out there somewhere. A man who made incredibly difficult choices. A man who might, against all odds, return. And if Caleb truly does return, whether physically or through more hidden letters, videos, or messages, then Heartland isn't merely narrating a story of profound healing, it's narrating a story of redemption, of tenacious survival, and of a love that steadfastly refused to perish. Amy now holds more than just a weathered book. She holds the potential for the next compelling chapter of her life, and the question every viewer is silently posing is: will she dare to read on, or will she metaphorically burn it and finally walk away from the lingering ghost of the past? For years, Amy's heart, though resilient, seemed intrinsically linked to one man. Caleb wasn't just her trusted friend, he was a confidant, a shared history, a profound connection. So when he inexplicably vanished, it felt as if time itself had come to a standstill. Amy didn't just lose a companion, she lost a piece of her anticipated future. But now, with Season 19 hinting at Caleb's shadow returning and a mysterious journal unlocking hidden truths from the past, fans are grappling with a pressing question: is Amy finally ready to open her heart to love again? The answer might prove to be far from straightforward. In the trailer, there's a particular moment that captivates viewers. Amy standing beside a man, tall, unfamiliar, yet possessing a quiet, reassuring presence. He gently reaches for a horse, and a genuine smile graces her lips. Not a forced smile, but a truly authentic one. For the first time since Caleb's departure, it appears Amy's formidable emotional walls might be beginning to crumble. But who exactly is he? And more importantly, is Amy truly seeking someone new, or is she merely attempting to move forward from a haunting presence? Rumors suggest this new character is a dedicated ranch hand, someone who comprehends Amy's world without attempting to fill Caleb's shoes. That alone feels refreshing, because Amy doesn't require saving. She needs someone who allows her to be both incredibly strong and beautifully vulnerable simultaneously. Someone who sees the woman she is now, not simply the girl she was with Caleb, but the complex, resilient woman she has become. However, the timing of his arrival is undeniably complicated, with the mysterious journal powerfully pulling Amy's focus back to Caleb. Amy's heart is metaphorically pulled in two distinct directions: the enduring memory of a love that irrevocably shaped her, and the nascent possibility of a new one that could offer genuine healing. And fans are visibly divided. Some vehemently argue that Amy deserves happiness, even if it's with someone entirely new. Others contend she should exercise caution. What if Caleb is still alive? What if he's genuinely coming back? Can she truly risk opening her heart again, only to have the past unexpectedly reappear on her doorstep? There's also the added weight of Lindy. Amy isn't simply a woman navigating personal healing. She's a mother. Introducing someone new isn't solely about her own feelings. It's about establishing trust, ensuring stability, and discerning whether this new individual can accept the undeniable shadow of Caleb that will perpetually linger in the background. Because regardless of how many years may pass, Caleb remains Lindy's father, and in many profound ways still Amy's most significant love. Season 19 appears to be expertly navigating this complex emotional terrain. The possibility of a new romance exists, but it's presented cautiously. It's multi-layered. It's raw. Amy isn't impulsively rushing into someone's arms. She's tentatively testing the waters, afraid to feel deeply again, yet too weary to continue pretending she doesn't. And here's where Heartland might truly surprise its audience. Perhaps Amy won't immediately plunge into a new romantic relationship. Perhaps the season is less about discovering someone new and more about Amy rediscovering herself. Perhaps, just perhaps, love will emanate not from another man, but from finally forgiving Caleb, releasing the lingering guilt, and learning to genuinely smile without the underlying current of pain. Or perhaps the man glimpsed in the trailer becomes something more profound. Perhaps he gently helps her open up again, slowly, carefully, not replacing Caleb, but standing alongside the memory, not eclipsing it. The future of Amy's love life isn't about eradicating the past, it's about choosing whether to remain tethered to it or finally step forward into something uncertain, something real, something truly her own. And as viewers, we are left to ponder, is Amy truly ready to embrace love again? Or is her heart still patiently waiting for the familiar sound of footsteps approaching the ranch porch? The sound of Caleb. Just as Amy begins the daunting process of confronting her past and questioning her future, the people closest to her also start to show signs of unraveling. The Heartland Ranch may project an image of tranquil serenity on the outside, but beneath the surface, old wounds are reopening, and deep-seated family tensions are simmering. This season, the narrative extends beyond just Amy and Caleb. It explores how everyone else grapples with the profound cracks that Caleb's prolonged absence and potential return have left behind. Jack, the steadfast patriarch, the seemingly unshakable rock of the family, appears more visibly shaken than ever before. For years he held everyone together with his quiet strength and unwavering presence, but Caleb's disappearance left an undeniable scar, even one that Jack struggles to conceal. He carried the heavy burden of self-blame, for not perceiving the warning signs, for not adequately protecting his family, for not preventing the profound heartbreak that followed. And now, as whispers about Caleb's journal and his mysterious survival grow louder, Jack's silence is deafening. He's not outright denying anything, but he's certainly not confirming it either. Some devoted fans believe Jack knows significantly more than he lets on. Perhaps he received a message from Caleb long ago, a plea for secrecy. Perhaps he promised to keep it hidden, believing it was the only way to safeguard Amy and Lindy from further pain. But as season 19 unfolds, Jack's deeply ingrained loyalty may be put to its ultimate test. Does he continue to keep the truth buried to shield Amy from additional anguish? Or does he finally reveal what he knows, risking the fragile peace they've painstakingly rebuilt over the years? Meanwhile, Lou is simultaneously battling her own array of complex challenges. As mayor and sister, she finds herself torn between her public duties and the spiraling private chaos engulfing her family. Her leadership has always been characterized by its firmness and resolve, but this season she's under an unprecedented level of pressure. The cherished ranch itself faces a looming threat from new land developers. The town is restless, sensing underlying tension, and now Amy is being drawn into an emotional maelstrom that threatens to unravel everything. Lou desperately wants to help, but she also possesses an innate desire for control, and her attempts to guide Amy might inadvertently feel more like imposing pressure than offering genuine support. Lou and Amy have consistently shared a powerful, enduring bond, but in season 19 that bond is severely tested. Amy is no longer the younger sister who simply seeks and accepts advice. She is a resilient mother, a survivor, a woman standing on the precipice of profound life-altering change. And Lou's instinctive urge to fix things might spectacularly backfire. pushing Amy to retreat further into herself instead of encouraging her to open up. Their sisterhood could potentially reach a breaking point, especially if Lou overtly disapproves of Amy's choices, whether they are romantic or otherwise. And then there's Tim, never one to remain passively quiet. Tim has always possessed a characteristic tendency to charge headlong into situations, brimming with raw emotion and possessing very little patience. This season he's deeply suspicious of the journal's sudden appearance, of the suspicious timing of this possible new man entering Amy's life. Some speculate that Tim will launch his own investigation into Caleb's past, and in doing so, uncover truths that the others are simply not yet ready to confront. He might genuinely believe he's protecting his daughter, but his impulsive actions could ultimately cause more profound harm than good. There's a persistent rumor that Tim crosses a significant line this season, actively contacting someone from Caleb's enigmatic past, perhaps even someone directly connected to his sudden disappearance. If that proves to be true, the resulting ripple effect could shatter what little semblance of peace still exists at Heartland. Amy, already torn between the haunting memories and a fragile new hope, may feel a deep sense of betrayal from her own father. And if the truth that Tim unearths is far darker and more disturbing than anyone could possibly imagine, it could completely rock the entire family to its very core. What makes Heartland so enduringly powerful isn't solely the majestic horses or the heartwarming romance. It's the profound, undeniable bond of family. But in Season 19, that very family unit may be pushed to its absolute limits, with long-buried secrets resurfacing, loyalties shifting precariously, and emotions running explosively high. The individuals who once stood united could find themselves on opposing sides, facing an internal struggle unlike any they've experienced before. Jack, Lou, and Tim each carry their own unique grief and pervasive guilt about Caleb's departure. And now, as Amy faces what is arguably her greatest emotional test yet, their individual choices could either gently guide her towards profound healing or tragically drive an irreversible wedge through the family forever. Because the inescapable truth is, Caleb's disappearance didn't just leave Amy feeling isolated, it left an entire family profoundly haunted by his absence. And now, as that deeply buried truth threatens to forcefully re-enter the light, so too does the agonizing pain they all desperately tried to suppress and bury. Heartland has consistently stood as an iconic symbol of peace and enduring tranquility. Rolling fields stretching endlessly, galloping horses, warm, inviting kitchens, and the unbreakable strength of family bonds. But this season, that cherished peace is under an unprecedented siege. And the threat is not merely emotional, it's tangible, physical. For the first time in many years, the very land itself, the intrinsic soul of Heartland, is in grave danger. And what's even more disconcerting, the escalating threat may be inextricably linked to Caleb's long-buried past. A past nobody truly understood. It begins with faint whispers, shadowy developers stealthily scouting land just beyond the familiar hills. Not just any developers, but powerful entities with extraordinarily deep pockets and ruthlessly sharp intentions. Their covetous eyes are fixated on the untouched natural beauty of Hudson, particularly properties like Heartland that occupy prime coveted territory. What they perceive is an immense lucrative opportunity. What the family perceives is a blatant, unwelcome invasion. Jack, already deeply troubled by the lingering secrets surrounding Caleb's disappearance, instinctively senses that something is profoundly amiss. He has lived long enough to keenly discern the scent of trouble long before it fully materializes. And this feels distinctly different, more insidious. One of the powerful men aggressively pushing these land deals is not an unfamiliar face. He is subtly yet undeniably connected to a shadow from Caleb's obscure past. The very same shadow that may have forcibly compelled him to vanish all those years ago. Amy, caught in the overwhelming maelstrom of deciphering the cryptic journal and simultaneously protecting Lindy, begins to notice unsettling, strange signs appearing around the beloved ranch. Gates that were previously locked are mysteriously found ajar. Unfamiliar footprints appear in the soft soil where no one should have been. Drones fly ominously low with unnerving frequency, hovering over their property. At first she dismisses it as her anxiety, a byproduct of her current emotional turmoil. But soon a chilling realization dawns on her: someone is deliberately watching them. Lou steps in, leveraging her considerable political power, striving to halt zoning changes that would permit extensive commercial construction perilously close to their cherished property. But every time she pushes back, the relentless developers push harder with increased aggression. Legal threats begin to mount, accumulating ominously. One of their unsuspecting neighbors receives an unusually generous buyout offer and mysteriously vanishes overnight, leaving no trace. Another awakens to find their barn inexplicably burned to the ground, a chilling, deliberate message. The implication is chillingly clear: sell or suffer severe, irreparable consequences. The tension escalates, reaching a terrifying breaking point when Lindy briefly disappears during a community event. Panic seizes Amy and the family. Lindy is found safe minutes later, shaken but unharmed, and she recounts how someone explicitly asked her about her daddy. That's when Amy fully grasps the terrifying truth: this isn't merely a conflict over land, it's deeply personal. Someone out there knows something profoundly significant about Caleb, and now they are strategically circling back to where it all began, Heartland itself. Tim, fiery and impetuous as ever, impulsively demands to confront the shadowy figure behind these escalating threats. Jack, ever the voice of reason, urges extreme caution. Lou, ever pragmatic, seeks legal solutions. But Amy, she finds herself torn between her fierce desire to protect the ranch, the very heart of their family, and her burning need to uncover the full, unvarnished truth. If these menacing individuals had anything to do with Caleb's sudden disappearance, if they forcefully compelled him to go silent to protect his family, then perhaps the long-sought answers are finally within her reach. Fans have meticulously pieced together fleeting trailer clips and tantalizing behind-the-scenes footage that hint at a devastating barn fire, a somber hospital scene, and Amy screaming uncontrollably in the pouring rain. Could the relentless developers be pushing things too far, inciting genuine danger? Could someone innocent get seriously hurt? This is no longer merely a territorial dispute over land. It's a desperate, arduous battle for Heartland's enduring legacy, and perhaps the ultimate catalyst that will finally bring Caleb's hidden story fully into the light. The ranch is so much more than mere wood and dirt. It embodies generations of cherished memories, boundless love, profound pain, and rich history. And now it has become an undeniable battlefield. Amy is done being silent, done passively waiting. If someone is relentlessly attempting to rebury the truth, she is more than ready to unearth it, regardless of the daunting cost. Because sometimes the place you love most fiercely is precisely the place everyone else desperately desires to destroy. And sometimes the only way to truly save it is to bravely face the haunting ghosts that initiated it all. It's the question that has persistently haunted viewers for countless seasons, not merely whispered in fervent fan forums or debated in animated comment sections, but felt deeply, profoundly, like an insistent ache in the very soul of the show. Would Caleb ever truly return, or was he irrevocably gone forever? For years, the show skillfully navigated a delicate tightrope between the stark finality of his absence and the tantalizing possibility of his eventual return. A quiet, almost understated exit followed by a prolonged, subdued grief, but never a clear, undeniable, unequivocal end to his story. And now, in season 19, that lingering silence is dramatically breaking, and fans are demanding answers, hungry for closure. From the very first tantalizing teaser, it was abundantly clear that this season would aggressively stir up the turbulent past. That singular, impactful shot of Amy discovering the mysterious journal, her expression a complex tableau frozen somewhere between an aching hope and profound heartbreak, powerfully cracked the long-standing emotional wall wide open. Suddenly, the once seemingly impossible idea of Caleb's return no longer felt like a remote fantasy. It felt utterly, undeniably inevitable. But what precise kind of return are we talking about? Some dedicated fans fervently believe in a tangible physical return, a shocking twist revealing that Caleb never actually died, that he was forcibly compelled into hiding, or tragically trapped in some unforeseen predicament, desperately